Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have an incredible story for you that revolves around prejudice, business power, and a shocking twist that teaches a harsh lesson. It's the kind of story that'll make you think twice about how we judge others, and how sometimes the tables can turn when you least expect it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories just like this one. Now, in today's story, we meet Eric Lawrence, a 36-year-old self-made millionaire who has made his mark in the business world. Eric has built multiple successful companies over the past decade, changing the landscape of tech with his innovations. Today, though, isn't about Eric's achievements. It's about the major business conference he's organized at the prestigious Glendown Hotel. This luxury venue is known for catering to high-profile business guests, and Eric is hoping to ensure everything goes smoothly. He's reserved a room well in advance, even paid for it ahead of time, and has confirmation from the hotel. However, when he arrives at the grand entrance of the hotel, everything takes an unexpected turn. Instead of being greeted with the usual VIP treatment, Eric is faced with a strange situation at the front desk that sets the stage for a shocking confrontation. What starts as a simple hotel check-in quickly spirals into something much deeper, and Eric is about to learn that sometimes even the most well-established hotels are not immune to judgment and prejudice. So let's dive into this story and see how Eric handles the situation. Eric Lawrence is the kind of guy who's built his life from the ground up. A successful entrepreneur, he spent years in the business world, creating innovative tech companies that have left a mark on the industry. His success didn't come overnight, and he's earned every bit of it. So when it comes to hosting a major business conference at the renowned Glendown Hotel, Eric expects things to go smoothly. The Glendown Hotel is known for its luxury and top-tier service, making it the ideal choice for high-profile business executives like Eric. He made the reservation weeks in advance, paying for it up front, and even received confirmation from the hotel. Everything's been finalized, and there's no reason to expect any hiccups. The plan is simple: show up, check in, and get ready to host a successful event. But as Eric walks into the hotel's grand entrance, something doesn't sit right. The usual sense of professionalism and luxury he's used to seems missing. He tries to brush it off, thinking it's just his nerves before the big event. But that feeling lingers as he approaches the front desk. The lobby is as magnificent as ever, with golden light bouncing off marble floors. But there's an odd tension in the air. Eric's mind races as he approaches the receptionist, Ruth, but he's about to realize that his problems are just beginning. What should have been a simple hotel check-in quickly turns into a moment that will challenge his patience and force him to confront something far more serious than a reservation issue. As Eric approaches the front desk, he's greeted by Ruth, a young receptionist in her late 20s. She looks up from her computer, offering a polite but somewhat detached smile. Eric doesn't think much of it at first, figuring she's just doing her job. He smiles back and calmly introduces himself, stating that he has a reservation under the name Eric Lawrence for the business conference. Expecting the usual quick check-in, Eric hands her his confirmation number on his phone. But Ruth's response is far from what he expects. Instead of immediately confirming his reservation, she takes a long moment to type into the system, her eyes scanning the screen with a hint of suspicion. After a tense few seconds, she looks up at him, her face showing clear confusion. "I'm sorry, Mr. Lawrence," she says, her voice now carrying an edge of doubt, "but I'm not finding your reservation in the system." Eric, caught off guard, quickly pulls out the confirmation email from his phone, but Ruth barely glances at it. She's already moving on to ask for something else, his credit card or another form of payment. Eric feels a knot tighten in his stomach. "No, I've already paid," he insists, frustration creeping into his voice. He had never been one to argue, especially in a professional setting, but this was quickly turning into something much more than a simple mistake. He even offers her his business card, embossed with the logo of his successful company, Lawrence Technologies, hoping that might help clear up any confusion. But Ruth doesn't even acknowledge the card. She doesn't even pick it up. Instead, she simply stares at him coldly. "Sorry, sir," she says flatly, "but I can't just take your word for it. This could be a scam." Eric's confusion morphs into disbelief. "A scam?" he repeats, his voice rising slightly. His mind races, trying to make sense of what's happening. How could she doubt someone with his reputation? Someone who had paid in advance for a reservation? At this point, Eric is no longer just irritated. He's genuinely shocked. He calmly tells Ruth that she can verify his details with the hotel management or call anyone she needs to, but she remains unflinching in her response. It's at this moment that Eric realizes what's really going on. This isn't about a mistake in the system or a misunderstanding over payment. It's about something deeper. Ruth isn't doubting his reservation because of any genuine concern about fraud. She's judging him. Eric isn't the typical high-profile business guest she's used to seeing. He doesn't fit the narrow expectations she has for what a successful businessman should look like. The realization hits him like a ton of bricks. This is prejudice, pure and simple. Ruth is assuming that someone like him, someone who doesn't fit her idea of success, couldn't possibly afford the high-end services of a place like the Glendown Hotel. Eric's growing frustration gives way to a quiet resolve. He knows he's not just dealing with a simple clerical error. This is something far more personal. Ruth's treatment of him isn't just unprofessional, it's discriminatory, and he's not going to let it slide. Instead of walking away in frustration, Eric takes a deep breath and decides to stand his ground. He's not going to let Ruth's prejudiced assumptions slide. This isn't just about a hotel reservation anymore. It's about challenging the judgmental attitudes that people like Ruth often impose on others. Calmly, he looks her in the eye and gives her one last chance. "I'll give you one opportunity to verify my reservation," he says, his voice steady but firm. "If you still don't believe me after that, I'll walk away, and I'll take my business elsewhere." Ruth, still skeptical, agrees, but Eric can sense that she's already made up her mind about him. As she begins to type into the system again, Eric turns to walk away. His frustration isn't just with Ruth. It's with the entire idea that someone could be judged so easily based on their appearance and assumptions about their success. As Eric exits the hotel, he knows this isn't the end. He's already plotting what to do next. He's been in the business world long enough to understand the power of influence, and he's not one to let such blatant disrespect go unanswered. Ruth's actions, along with the hotel's lack of support, won't go unpunished. Eric's mind begins to race with possibilities. How can he make them pay for the injustice he's faced today? He may have walked out of the hotel, but his resolve is stronger than ever. And he's about to show the Glendown Hotel that no one, no matter how powerful or wealthy, can be judged or dismissed so easily. 2 hours after his uncomfortable encounter with Ruth, Eric receives a call from his lawyer. The news is exactly what he had expected. The Glendown Hotel had refused to acknowledge his payment. But there's an unexpected twist. The hotel is up for sale. Eric listens carefully as his lawyer explains the details. Without hesitation, Eric makes a decision that leaves everyone around him stunned. He's going to buy the entire hotel. He knows that he's in a position to make an offer the current owners can't refuse, and it's not just about acquiring a luxury property. This is about making a statement, about showing that no one, not even a high-end hotel, can get away with treating people the way Ruth treated him. Within an hour, Eric's lawyer begins negotiating a deal that will shift the hotel's ownership into Eric's hands. The transformation that's about to take place will change the hotel's reputation forever. Meanwhile, Ruth, completely unaware of the storm brewing, heads home thinking she's won. She believes Eric has simply walked away, and that's the end of it. But the following morning, everything changes for her. Ruth's phone buzzes relentlessly with messages, each one more shocking than the last. As she checks her phone, she sees the headline, "Eric Lawrence now owns the Glendown Hotel." Her heart drops as she reads further. Effective immediately, Ruth Moore is no longer employed by the hotel. The realization hits her like a ton of bricks. Not only has Eric taken control of the hotel, but he's also made it clear that Ruth's prejudice and unprofessionalism won't be tolerated. Ruth's confidence quickly turns into shock, and she's left to grapple with the consequences of her actions. The next morning, Ruth arrives at work, expecting everything to go back to normal. But as she approaches the hotel's entrance, she's met by security, who informs her that her name has been removed from the employee list. She's no longer allowed to enter the building. Confused and shocked, Ruth's mind races as she tries to process what's happening. It doesn't take long for her to learn the truth. Eric Lawrence, the very man she had dismissed and judged, now owns the Glendown Hotel. And this wasn't just a business acquisition, it was a powerful statement. Eric's move was about more than money or property. It was about ensuring that the Glendown Hotel would no longer be a place where people like him, those who didn't fit a certain image, would be treated with suspicion or disrespect. The hotel would now stand for professionalism, respect, and inclusion. Eric wasn't just changing the ownership of a luxury hotel, he was changing its entire culture. For Ruth, the lesson is harsh, but undeniable. Prejudice and discrimination come at a very high price. Her narrow judgment of Eric, based solely on his appearance, cost her not only her job, but her standing in the professional world. Eric Lawrence taught her, and everyone watching, that respect isn't something to be given based on looks or assumptions, but on how we treat one another as equals. Ruth's experience is a wake-up call to everyone that no matter who you are or how you look, you deserve to be treated with fairness and dignity. Eric didn't just change the hotel's ownership. He changed the way people will think about how to treat others, ensuring that no one will ever feel the sting of prejudice in that hotel again. And that's where the story ends. Eric Lawrence didn't just take a stand for himself. He made sure that the culture of the Glendown Hotel would now reflect the values he stands for: respect, professionalism, and inclusivity. By using his resources and influence, he turned a personal injustice into a powerful lesson for everyone. He proved that it's not just about standing up for your own rights, but about ensuring that the world around you is a place where everyone is treated fairly, no matter their appearance or background. Eric's actions speak volumes about the kind of change one person can make, and the impact of standing up against prejudice. What would you have done in Eric's shoes? Would you have walked away? Or would you have taken action like he did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.